Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast, and it is live on our very own YouTube channel as well today. Happy Friday, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be watching or listening. With your hosts, as always, Michael and Jacob, previewing Nottingham Forest on Sunday, first game against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League since the 98-99 season. We're going to be recapping the Champions League group stage draw. I don't know if you guys know.
Since when?
I don't know. 98-99.
That's a fun little factoid. Don't just comb that over.
I got more for you. I got more for you later on.
You bring in the smoke. I like it.
Tuesday nights, Champions League returning to Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium officially. Group D, along with some other teams that we will get into as well. Have some outgoing news, some transfer outgoing news that be as well. But first of all, Jacob, welcome in, and welcome in to everyone tuning in as well on this beautiful Friday afternoon for us, Friday evening for all of our friends in the UK, and then anywhere else where you may be listening to. But Jacob, welcome in, my friend.
Welcome.
The Champions League is returning soon to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're about to go face Nottingham Forest away. It's going to be loud. It's going to be proud. But you know what? Antonio Conte's Lily Whites will be ready.
I am looking forward to this match because not only is it going to be, that's fun. Now that you told me the 98-99 season, that's fun. So that gives me another element to look forward to. But the reasons why previously I was also looking forward to this match, I really want to see the lineup. We got a midweek game coming up with West Ham shortly after this one.
Yep.
So I feel like it's going to be kind of telling what Antonio Conte does here. It's going to tell us some things. Some things we're going to overlook. Some things we're going to read too much into. So I'm excited for that part. Just like I'm excited for the transfer windows coming to a close too. So it's just a fun time for rumors and he says, she said with the old misses. But, hey, we move and we groove and I like all the news. So really and truly, I was also, you and I, we were in a back room when we were watching the UCL draw. To me, oh man, we got exactly what we were wanting.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna try and sound selfish here, but I think that we put the good juju out there. They felt it. Yaya Toure, he said, "Okay, which one does Jacob and Michael want me to pick?" And he said, "This one."
D. Tottenham Hotspur.
D. I mean,
B.
come on.
D. E. B. D. E.
Yes, sir.
B. D. E. That's what we're talking about today, folks. But yes, Jacob,
sir.
I had texted you shortly.
Man, it's good to be back with you.
Draw.
I feel like we haven't done this in like 2 weeks.
It is.
Everyone's been asking me when's the epi drop and when's the live stream, and we had some technical issues last week, so I had to run solo. But it's good to be back on screen with you, man. I just want to let you know that. First
off, also I forgot to mention earlier on in the pod. I know, Jacob, don't get too mad at me, but I want to shout out our Patreon members and our different tiers that we now have as well, and you can join if you go to patreon.com/United Spurs of America. But it is a new link. It's scrolling on the bottom right now, and we want to shout out our very own patrons and our very own official supporters. So first off, in the 10-inch club, the highest tier right now in terms of subscribers, we have Queen Ellie from Tottenham Till I Die, Leo COYS from Mile High Hotspur, and Faraz as well. Our official sponsors club, James Joris, J.Co., Mile High Hotspur again. Thank you, Leo. Scott M. And then our other anchor club as well. That will expire soon, so make sure to hop on over to Patreon. But that is C Cubed, Ja Dank, and Alex Wood as well. Jacob just dropped the link in the comment section, so please check us out. And if you do not have any financial means to support or want to support another way, guess what? All you have to do is click the subscribe button on this video. If you're watching on Spotify and you're not already following, hit the follow button on Spotify, hit the like,
make sure to give us a rating. Spotify too,
hit the 5-star. So
I do polls on Spotify. I do some polls on Spotify, just like I do some polls here on the YouTube. I got a poll running about the UCL group thoughts. I posted it before the show. Right now we got 8 votes. I see we got 10 people in the house and 7 likes. 3 of y'all, please hit that like and do wonders for the growth of this channel. So big ups to you. UCL thoughts. So far, people feel like it's a good group and we should advance. No one has said that we're going to struggle. No one has said Conference League deja vu. And I think that those were a little bit of fears of mine when I saw, like, okay, we got a struggling Frankfurt who might, may or may not figure their things out. We'll talk about it. But Sporting Lisbon, I mean, that's a good draw. Unless they get Ronaldo on some fluke and he scores a hattie on us. And I don't want that to happen. But it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. So I feel good about it. I really do.
So do I. Let's run into some comments. First off, Kev Williams, he says, I hate Arsenal. So do I, my friend. That's more than one thing that we have in common. Mark Swift, how you doing, man? He says BD, BD. Yes, sir. Group BD. Yes, sir. E, that is. Alexander Hilton, welcome in, man. It's good to see you again.
Steak.
10-inch, the very own Alan Sibley. Welcome in, my friend. How you doing? He says, remember that Spurs do not make anything easy regarding the UCL group draw. I do agree, my friend. I do agree, but you have to admit it's very, very favorable. Want to also welcome in Jamie. Thank you so much for joining in, Jamie. Welcome in. Kelvin. It's nice to see you again, Kelvin. Thank you for joining in. C Cubed. Thank you. It's Mike and his kid on today. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It is my very own son, Jacob Walraven. Thank you.
Shut the hell up, both of you.
Hilton says Basuma. Yes, sir. We'll get into him a little bit later as well. So, Jacob, let's get into our very first segment today on the show. First off,
talk to me.
The UCL group stage draw.
Oh.
Eicher and Frankfurt, the Europa League champions, if you remember. They did lose the Super Cup to Real Madrid, but they did win the Europa League last year. They did have some departures, though. One being Filip Kostic, one of their very key players along that left-hand side of their formation. Then you have us, obviously, Tottenham in Pot 2, who drew in Group D. Then you have Sporting CP. You had already mentioned them. Very relatively favorable draw. Whether we're talking in Group 3, there was a lot of scary teams within that third pot. So I thought we got away with a little bit of murder there. And then we round out Group D with Marseille. Now remember, Guendouzi is on this team. Payet is on this team. Some former players of North London and just London derby rivals in general. So hey, you know what? Some juicy groups. I will admit there are some much harder groups than ours.
Oh yes,
Jacob. Let's go ahead and start out with this, man. Give our, I guess, favorability, out of 10. What's the overall group feeling? The group rating out of 10, and what were your overall thoughts? I know we had both wanted Frankfurt. I had messaged you just shortly before the draw was official that I was like, hey, look, I think Frankfurt could be a generous draw for us. They haven't won a single game in the Bundesliga yet. They did get generally weaker from their Europa League campaign last year. So for you, man, rating out of 10, how are we feeling?
When I look at everyone else's potential, I mean, I'm going to say big ups to my man Cobra. He played on the team. I'm going to butcher their name, but it's like Victoria Pielsen. But they got a rough draw there. I think Barcelona is going to struggle to make it out of their group. When you look at some of the other groups, I feel like we kind of got the best group, honestly, when it comes down to the draw of it. I know Marseille is no pushover. I know they're going to – I feel like they're the likely challengers to win that group with us. But in my mind, anything less than advancing is a disappointment. If we advance and we don't even win the group, I'll be a little let down, but I'll just be more happy we moved on. I wouldn't care. But if we can't move on from this group somehow, Frankfurt, all respect to Frankfurt. Hey, they just won Europa last year, and big ups to them. But when you start eliminating your key players and reasons you got there, reasons that took you there, and or pushed you over the mountain, I'm not too worried about them. I'll put it that way. I was a little bit, and then you kind of quelled me. They haven't won this year in their league, the Bundesliga, correct? Yep. So, to me, they're struggling right now. They may or may not turn themselves around. I think before they start thinking about us, they're going to have to think about their league and turning things around for them. So, I think that's a good draw for us. Sporting Lisbon, all respect, but I kind of mentioned this on another podcast. I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't know a single person on that team. I
I know
couldn't tell you not
they have
one
some
name.
good they have some good youth. I know they have some good prospects on the rise.
I know Eric Dyer came
Goncalo,
from there. That's what's up.
I think they have a guy named Goncalo something. But I know they have a pretty good talent on Sporting. But other than that, they do have some other decent players. They obviously finished very well last year in Liga NOS. I believe they finished in second behind Benfica. I'm not too sure, but
Oh,
they're a decent team. But in terms of the other teams, like I already said, from Pot Three, I would gladly take Sporting over some of those other teams that were available, including the likes of Dortmund. There was obviously Inter Milan as well. Napoli is another one that you could say is a decent team to get in your group. But let's take a look at it, Jacob. Let's take a look. Got all the groups lined up here. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are already pointing to Group C as the group of death. You have Bayern, Barcelona, Inter
mind zooming
Milan,
that in a
all in the
little
same
bit?
group.
just
Can
like
you not see?
a scotch. I mean, I might have to full screen you. I can see the logos more. There we go.
There you go.
Beautiful.
But here it is, my friend. When you look at the groups, you look at Group C, you look at Group H, maybe even Group G as well. A lot of decent teams. Group E has a very tasty draw with AC Milan, Chelsea, and RB Salzburg. And remember Dinamo Zagreb, PTSD, no big deal, right, Spurs fans? But you look at this draw, man, and you see Group D, and you're like, all right, you know what? That's manageable. That's very favorable. So for me, giving our group drawing a rating out of 10, I think I'm gonna have to go 10 out of 10, man. You can't get much more ideal than that. I think maybe the only other group that you would maybe think is more ideal would I guess be
B?
maybe Atletico's,
B,
Atletico's
yeah.
draw, or Group F, Real Madrid. Real Madrid's gonna get a cakewalk out of that group as well. But other than that, man, than those two groups, you have to say that we have the most favorable draw out of all the teams in the Champions League this year.
Oh, I'll definitely say it because when you look at it, most everyone got two really solid teams, right? At least some got three. Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli. I would argue Ajax and Napoli. That's going to be a good little battle there. Big up, Mike. What's up, Scott M?
What's up, Scott? Shout out, Scott. Love you, man. Thanks for tuning in.
I think I'm roped into the Sun apologist argument, but that's for another time.
No, don't worry. We're getting into Sonny, remember, a little bit later on this podcast. So just be patient, my friend, because we can both go off together.
Oh yeah. But back to these groups, like Man City, they got Sevilla and Dortmund. You know what I mean? Those are two teams that are going to be very tough. Yep. And especially you're going to have a long stretch of games, and you have international windows, World Cup, and then you're still going to be playing in Champions League and Carabao and FA. Man City ain't going to have no cakewalk. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Liverpool either. Napoli, I hope in Dom Big Schlong and Dom Longthong, I hope he'll put it together and give us something sexy. And then Napoli end up buying him. That'll be nice. But Group B or F would be the only other groups I'd say. But even when I compare them to, I just imagine us in one of their spots. Bro, Group D's where it's at, man. This is where it's at. We got so lucky. 10 out of 10 for sure. Yaya Toure, shout out. Hit us up. Come on the pod. Tell us what's what. I felt like he really dug into that bowl, spun it around real nice, and he knew which one we wanted. Because every time I was like, give us that one. And it happened. And we were so stoked, man. So that was a good time. Definitely a good time.
So the first games, the first fixtures, I guess, of the Champions League group stage are going to be on September 6th and 7th. And I know Alexander was asking a little bit earlier when the actual fixture list will be released. I believe it should be released either this upcoming week or the week after. But correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone else knows in the chat. But I think it's this upcoming week that the fixtures themselves are actually announced. So that'll be something to look for as well. But regardless, we already know, Jacob, that we're going to be playing on Tuesdays, which, like we already said, I was a little bit selfish yesterday during the draw. I was like, please give us Group A through D. That way I could watch every Premier League match, or at least the majority of them, on either Fridays or Saturdays. And you know what? I got what I wanted. I'm happy. I'm happy with the draw as well. The teams in our group, that be it that. Mm-hmm. So you know what? For me, I'm satisfied, man. I think it could have gone about as well as you could hope for.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk. Ain't none of these teams gonna make it easy for us. I'll tell you that much. And honestly, when you think about like lower tier teams, in my opinion, I mean, whatever you want to say is a lower tier team from the lower pots, they're going to study us harder than ever because think about it. We are a club that is worldwide known, globally, worldwide, whatever you want to say. Mr. Worldwide Pitbull, shout out. When you look at it, everyone's going to want to beat us. We're that team that you will go out there and it's like, oh, ah, ha, ha, we beat Spurs. You know what I mean? They want to be that guy on that side of the argument. So to me, it's fine. I appreciate the hate because I turn it into love. So you know what? Also, big up James Joris, another sponsor in the house.
Man. Thanks for tuning in.
Big up yourself, my friend. Great group, man. Great group. I'm looking so excited to it. And you know what? You get to watch the games. We're primarily going to get to play on Saturday the longer we stay in this thing. Daniel Levy's going to be happy the longer we stay in this thing. We're going to put like 30-some million in his pocket if we make it out this group. Everyone's going to be happy. I think that's what gives me a little bit of hope going forward that we may bring some players in. There's a couple players. I can tell you 3 people to bring in that give me a 10 out of 10. I know it's not what we're talking about. I'm digressing, but...
Oh, we'll get into it in a little bit, though. So make sure you keep it on the tip of your tongue. First off, though...
I think everyone knows one of mine, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows. All right. So looking ahead to this group, man, we already went over it. Frankfurt, Sporting, and Marseille. Marseille, however you want to say it. Whatever.
You can Marseille it however you want.
Exactly. Would it be a disappointment, would you say? I know this may be a rhetorical question, I know, but I just want to get your overall thoughts and your official thoughts, I guess, officially on these airwaves and video waves.
Let me hear it.
If we do not win this group, how big of a disappointment is it?
I would say it's worse than anything you've seen in Jackass. And I would say that not just physically, but emotionally. If you've ever seen any of those, they do a lot of stunts and they go out of their way to do things that can harm you and hurt you. And you know what? I really feel like it would be a major letdown. I know Antonio Conte doesn't have the best record in the Champions League, but I always feel like when it comes to this debate about, I was gonna say debacle. It's not a debacle, but this debate about Antonio Conte and he's not, Champions League curse. Well, we got a trophy curse. If Antonio Conte wants to break his little Champions League curse and we could break our trophy curse at the same time, to me, that's a full sweep. That's getting 2 monkeys off 2 bags in one go. So I feel like Conte's going to want to win this thing, at least make it far, at least put in a run and then say, look, I need X, Y, and Z, and we could do this thing.
I agree. And I want to bring up something that Alexander just put in the chat as well.
Sorry.
I want to win every game in that group, and that group would be considered a Europa League group of death, not a Champions League group. I agree to a certain extent. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, Frankfurt, they're a decent team. I know I already said that they got weaker, and I wanted to draw them, but look at the other teams in Pot 1. I guess that's what I meant to say when I said that I wanted or I at least favored drawing Frankfurt from Pot 1. You look at the other teams in that group. You have your Cities, your Liverpools, everyone. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. Look, you have Frankfurt, you have Sporting, you have Marseille. In my opinion, you have to go in and try to win every single game in that group. Remember this also, Jacob, is there's going to be games in the Champions League and the Premier League every single week, or almost every single week moving forward throughout the fall season and the rest of this, I guess, first half of the season. This is going to be really, really important for squad rotation. All of these guys that we've already talked about week in and week out, who should start this week? Who should start that week? They're going to get game time regardless, and it's going to be in these group stage games or in the Premier League sprinkled in throughout this schedule. So this is what excites me the most, man, is that our squad's going to get decent rotation because we're going to have midweek games starting as early as next week. You already mentioned it. We have West Ham next week, and then the week after that is already the first match week of Champions League group stage. There's going to be plenty of game time to go around, and we have plenty of players to do it. We just got to stay healthy. So for me, I'm excited to see the rotations that Conte goes through within the Premier League. And then remember, we still have the Carabao Cup, FA Cup down the line. There's going to be a lot of games to get on all of these players' belts. So for me, I think that's what I'm most excited about.
There's a lot of things to be excited about. Especially, when you were saying that, there was something that came to my mind. This is a hammy ass week if you think about it. We got Nottingham Forest. We got
And
West Ham.
West Splam.
West Splam. Whatever you want. I mean, I hate West Ham, bro.
Me too.
We're going to go to that London stadium. We're going to pop those stupid ass bubbles they be blowing everywhere. I hope Sonny blows kisses through the bubbles.
Nottingham Forest already did.
I mean, it don't seem like a hard thing to do. They ain't even scored a goal this season, have they? I know they scored a bunch in their, what was it, Europa qualifying or Conference League qualifying matches that they're playing. They scored like 4 goals against some team I've never heard of. But, congratulations to the West Blammers, the West Blam Glamours, whatever you want to call them. But I just think it's going to be, like you said, a good example of the rotation that we're going to see. I'm really curious. The starting lineup. We play on Sunday, correct?
Yes, we play on Sunday and then Wednesday.
So, to me, I honestly, I wish we played tomorrow. I hate that. I hate playing on Sunday just because I feel like it takes too long. I'm a little eager to see the boys, but for me, man, Cubes. Yes, we are on to you. We're on to you.
I guess let the conspiracy theories begin.
What's the conspiracy theory?
That I haven't been bringing up her comments, apparently. I'm sorry, Cubed. I apologize.
Well, I think they're trying to derail me, and they're trying to do it through you. So I believe Cubes and Scott are both trying to get me wound up, but I appreciate them both. Sunday, 9:30 during God's time. He's going to be looking over us. He's going to be looking out for us. I think the boys get it done. It's going to be a good test. Even if we do see some kind of rotational starting 11, that's still a positive thing, right? We're in a position this year that I don't think we were in last season. I do still think we need some more players in. We haven't quite filled it out yet. A lot to look forward to, though.
No, for sure. For sure. Before we get into Nottingham Forest, though, we obviously have some other talk to get into. And I'm excited because I know you're excited. And I'm excited as well, but I don't think I'm excited as how much you're excited. That was a lot of exciteds in the few sentences.
There's a lot of excitement in this very room.
I want to say happy trails to, at least temporarily, to Harry Winks. Harry Winks is reportedly on to Sampdoria on a reported loan. Dry loan, no buy option, but regardless, happy trails, Harry Winks. Mm-hmm. Jacob, I know you've been looking forward to this for a long time, but I know it may have come a little bit too late for your liking.
Yes, and not just for the locker room, but I would say for the jersey number as well. Yeah. Because now Basuma's locked in.
That's more what I was referring to.
Because I did want to see Basuma number 8. You know how he's going to flex so hard. I think, he's got the 38. He's making it look good. Scott M's also saying, how'd I get roped in? You know how you got roped in. You're a hoodlum. Both of y'all hoodlums out here. Which, shout out to Hotspur Hood. We had a little fun last night there on the show that Colin runs, Late Night Chill. So, man, Winks, this guy. My first thought was our group chat because of it was named the Harry Winks fan club at one point, and I think that there's still a lot of people who really do hold this man near and dear to them. So I don't want to say like good riddance, get the hell out of here.
Hey, happy trails. Wish you nothing but the best. Come back a better player, and hopefully we'll be able to sell you for some more money. That's what I mean. Hey, it's all cordial. I don't have any malicious intent towards Harold Winks.
Yeah,
he's a pretty boy, good looking lad, homegrown,
Tottenham
through and through.
Yeah. Well, them little freckles. He has a good smile. He's a nice guy.
He held the captain's arm. He wore the captain's armband at a certain time under Jose Mourinho too. So you know what? Got to give him his respect.
Also, the the group chat. I said that, and then one of the people in the chat responded with, "I don't want to say he's a club legend, but 94th 94th minute
94th
versus
minute
Fulham.
versus Fulham. Yep.
Yeah.
And the game against West Ham too.
Scott M says, "Get out, Winks. Great news, even if
I
it's too
understand.
late. Just
I
not alone."
understand.
You know, I think the
I don't
thing
hate
is,
him. I don't particularly love him more than anyone else on the team. So for me, hey, wish him nothing but the best. He wasn't going to be in Conte's plans. We already knew it.
we left him behind. He didn't even get to go to Korea.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, even if I would tell Antonio Conte, "What's up, my high Hotspur, Leo COYS in the house."
Shout out.
I would more tell. I'd be like, Antonio, even if you're not gonna like play me, you want to loan me out, whatever. Let me go to Korea, bro. I've never been. You know, that'd be a cool experience. I want to see Sonny in his natural habitat. Who doesn't want to go to the jungle and see a tiger? You know, who doesn't want to go to the safari and see the elephants? And it's like you want to see this man in his natural habitat, and I want to experience his culture and like learn things about him and his culture. Antonio ripped that away from Harry Winks. How long has Harry Winks known Heung Daddy? How many? That's a lot of years, right?
Yeah. It's been 7 years.
He didn't get to go hang out with, with Eric Dyer and Kane and all these guys he's been playing with. I would have been more upset about that than the fact that you didn't want to play me. Like, I can accept the fact you don't think I'm a good enough baller. The fans hate me. They think I back pass too much. They think I'm unconfident on the ball, which I am. But you're going to leave me behind for the Korea trip? That just hurts my feelings. So, because he was training, him and Dombele, Lo Celso, they were all in training before Korea, and he was just like, "Nah, you getting left behind, bro." Cube says, "Nah, Conte's ruthless. Conte is ruthless. He doesn't want to give false hope to anyone." I know, but like, let me go to Korea with y'all. I want to have fun for a few weeks.
You know, when I think of Harry Winks, it's kind of a funny coincidence that it happens the day after our UCL group stage draw, because he had some of his best performances in a Spurs shirt in the Champions League. If you remember the 16-17 season, 17-18 season as well, when we played out our Champions League games at Wembley. You know, he had some great games against Real Madrid. I remember a decent game that he had, I believe, against Monaco as well. So there's a few performances that stick out in particular, but you know, he's not exactly the same type of player that he was then. He doesn't really have the same type of confidence that he had then as well. So for me, look, hopefully he gets some of his confidence back. If he plays well enough at Sampdoria, maybe he has a shot at making that England squad for the World Cup. I know it's a long shot, but yeah, you never know. You never know. There's also, as you already guys know, I'm sure, Valencia, not Valencia. Yeah, it is Valencia.
It is Valencia.
Brian
Same
Heung
place he
going
was
to
at
Valencia on a simple loan, no buy option. But apparently the deal is being held up because we are trying to find a replacement first, which is very encouraging because obviously if Brian Heung goes, we would look obviously a lot thinner than we were when we would have him in the attacking front line, if you will. So for me, man, it's a little bit curious because we also had a little bit of a little tidbit that came out in the Conte press conference this morning, where he said that he has to also monitor the situation with Lucas Moura as well. I know that he is a injury concern for Nottingham Forest. I think that's what he had maybe meant, but it's also maybe concerning if he had meant on the transfer side as well. But regardless, I think even if we were to sell Lucas, it would no doubt be mandatory to buy a replacement beforehand, for sure.
When looking at that quote, you kind of read into it like, what? Are you going to loan or sell Lucas? What's happening? They're just about to drop the documentary on Spurs play? They're about to drop the Lucas? This is me, Lucas Moura? And then he's going to be playing for someone else. I just think that's kind of, that's funny.
I'm not saying it was meant more for injury, but like I already said, like, I mean, we had talked about it before the stream, man. We were like, oh shit.
I was like, oh fuck, yeah, what does he mean?
Like transfer-wise, loan-wise, like what are we talking? But regardless, he's possibly a doubt for Nottingham Forest. But speaking on Brian Heung, man, we've already mentioned it time and time again. Especially, I know you feel a little bit more strongly than I do about
Don't
Brian
remind me.
Hill.
That's a wound that hasn't healed yet.
But regardless, the kid needs game time. He's probably not going to get much of it if he had stayed this season with Tottenham. So for me, I guess it's a win-win. You get a player out the door who hasn't necessarily made very much of an impact in terms of Premier League play. At least he was a guy who got more game time, more so in the Conference League and what be it those smaller cup competitions. But
Yeah.
for me, win-win on both sides. I already know how you feel about it, but that's another thing to look at because we had already confirmed that we are looking for a replacement before we get rid of Heel, which, like I already said, it's encouraging, man, because it means that we're not going to be wearing ourselves thin. If we can't get a deal in and a replacement in for Heel, it sounds like we're okay with just letting him stay because he does add that depth to our attacking line. But we have Richarlison, we have Son, we already have Kane, Kulusevski. All these guys are getting into the mix. You had like a guy like a Brian Heel. I'm okay with it. He goes on loan to get more game time. I'm more okay with it. So for me, get a guy in, maybe Premier League proven, a little bit more Premier League experience, maybe a guy with a little bit more meat on his bones, if you know what I'm saying. So for me, let's get someone in. It's
I
exciting.
know what you're saying.
Oh, I know it. I know it. You know what I'm saying as well.
Oh, I know. No,
We already know Adama Traore, Fabio Paratici likes him. He's been monitoring him for a while. It's reported that he could go as cheap as £10 million. So if that is the case, I would be, I'm going to say it on the record, I would be okay with getting him in for that cut price. There's also been players like Malinovsky or however you may say it from Atalanta. He's a midfielder / attacker that could possibly enter the frame as well if someone else leaves Tottenham this summer. So there's a lot of names going around, Jacob. For you, I know Adama's a name that we've already brought up. We already know that you love him, but outside of Adama, is there anyone else that you'd be excited to see come through the door?
Damn, you set me up. You set me up.
Let's get into it. Let's get into him after, like on a serious note.
Okay.
But first off, besides Adama, because we will get into him, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you.
I'll
go.
get
Don't
into
worry.
him.
But outside of Adama, is there another, I guess, position or a name in particular that you want to see addressed within either the midfield or the attack?
I'm gonna say all the above. I think we need to go above and beyond this window. When you look at this Champions League draw, you have to factor that into your next moves before the transfer deadline ends, in my opinion. Okay, you bring in a guy like Alon Sam Max Xamon. All right, you bring
Xamon, yes sir.
You bring a guy like that in. All right,
fantastic.
He has a release
game,
clause for 38 million. If a Champions League team comes calling, release clause 38 mil, then you spend 10 on Adama Traore. Oh, and then, all right, that's under 50 right there. Yep. Okay, I'm helping you make money right there. Okay, you got under 50. You bring in 2 complete game changers. All right, and then to shore up that back line, we need to go ahead and call Enter. You know we got them on speed dial. We need to call them up. Bring Skriniar. Bastoni don't want to come. You keep Bastoni. Give me Skriniar. How much you think we could get Skriniar for? You bring those two players in?
It's been reported today that they're not looking to sell him anymore, but I would put up 55-60 for Skriniar personally.
I would as well.
Pounds. I'm talking pounds, so that would be like up to what, 70 million euros. I would put up that amount of money for him. I would.
He would shore up that back line.
Him or De Vrij. We've already talked about it before many times on previous streams, but I know you and me already know. De Vrij, Skriniar are 2 names that we like in particular. You know I love Bastoni. You know I love Vardiol as well. You get in one of these guys, I agree with you, man. You get in one of these guys on that back line, or maybe even 2. Hell, I don't know, man. It depends on how horny Fabio is. You never know.
He could be feeling spicy on a Friday night. You don't know.
Get in 1 or 2 center backs. Get in another midfielder like the Atalanta guy that I had already mentioned, and then I'll say it. You get in Adama Traore, and I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay. But let's get into it. Let's get into some Adama talk. It's been reported this week. Ali Gold did get Jacob a little bit excited, very much excited. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
I'm barely sitting
not
still.
A little excited.
My hands are wet now.
Very excited.
My hands are wet.
But it is reported that he could go for as low as £10 million. Fabio Paratici was already looking at him when we did play Wolves as well. He had a decent cameo when he did come on. I will admit, didn't play particularly poor. So for me, man, look, if he's going for that cheap, I mean, get him in. If it's a guy that Antonio Conte, Paratici has been looking at, I've already said it, man. time and time again, look at the track record already of the players that Conte has wanted in, look at the players that he has gotten in, and look at the impact that they have made. If this is truly a target of Conte's, I know it. We already know it's one of Fabio's targets, but if Conte wants him in, then by all means, get him in, man. Get him in.
Shimmy, shimmy, yo, shimmy, yay. Get in, bring in Adama Traore. I'm going to go ahead and say 10 million. That's another robbery. If you told me that at this point last year, like, don't worry, we're getting Basuma and Adama Traore for under 40.
Well, remember
combined.
This time last year, we were already thinking that we were going to get Adama Traore.
I got the boxes of oil ready. I was wet, ready. You saw this man when he came on to play against us. You saw them hamburger patties glimmering in the sunlight. It wasn't actually sunlight.
Like
I think it was the floodlights. It took 3 of us to stop that man. You bring a man like Adama Traore into the team, and he pulls 2 players his way with his dribbling and his speed and his pace and just his overall sexiness. All right, he pulls 2 his way. That's going to be less attention on Kane, less attention on Son or Højbjerg, who can then get it to the aforementioned players. This guy's a game changer. I'm not saying he has to start. Maybe he plays the right wing back, and he's the solution to the right wing back position. We saw him play that in the limited time he came on when he played us last weekend. Okay, this guy is a guy. He's got the pace. Before he left, all right, I've been on so many streams defending this man, fighting the good fight. Scott M, what the hell, Michael? Your job is to steer Jacob away from Dom.
I'm sorry.
It's time.
Sorry.
It is time. Wikipedia says for 8 million. No, 10. This has happened last time, and this is why I'm so salty about Brian Heel. Okay, you're right, Jamie. Jamie, big up, Jamie. You finally got you. I've seen Jamie in the comments, and Jamie's been saying that they've missed the live. So I'm glad that you're here today. Marky. Oh, don't you know?
10-inch says no to Traore, Jacob.
I've seen him. I've seen him. He says,
Alan,
Jacob, no.
You have to admit,
no.
If you heard with your own ears that Antonio Conte, from his lips, from his mouth, say that he wants Adama Traore, you would really say no to Adama Traore? For me, you already know my philosophy at this point. I'm just letting Conte drive, and I'm enjoying the ride. And I'm getting out of the way. You know what I mean? I'm getting on. Sorry, I'm not getting out of the way. I'm getting on because the only other option is getting out of the way. And I'm not going to get out of the way of Antonio Conte. I'm going to hug that man. I'm going to hold on to him as long as I can until the ride concludes. Because it will conclude one day. We have to admit that.
No, it won't.
I'm gonna hold on to him.
Don't tell me that. The ride's not ending. I'm the person who, he's like, all right, the club's closed, the lights are on, I gotta go, and I'm like, no, let's go somewhere, let's go, Big up Bob Spur, thanks for tuning in today. That distracted me. He said booby. That's my fault. When we talk about, I think it's a good time that you came in, Bob Spur, because it's about time everyone heard it. I've been fighting, I've been defending, I've been giving point after point. Yes. I have counter argument. Oh yeah, Q's. Yes. You already know the answer to that question. Yes. This guy, Adama Traore, has also Antonio Conte's been keeping tabs on this guy since he was at Chelsea. I'm talking about Antonio Conte when he was a manager at Chelsea. He's had his little peepers over there keeping an eye on the muscle man Adama Traore. And you know what? It's about time it just all comes together. You bring in those 3 players I mentioned. Alon Sam Maxi XXX Maximin. All right. You bring in Adama Wetness Traore. And then you bring in and shore up that back line. Big money. Drop the big money on a solid signing like Skriniar. I'm really sold on Skriniar. I've wanted him for a while. Adama Traore, I've wanted him for a while. Sam Maximin, I've wanted him for a while. So you know what? Bring him in. It's about time. It's time it all comes together. Like the perfect storm. Like the wind, the earth, fire, water.
And it may. It may actually come together. We knew how close it was last year. We know how heartbreaking it was for Jacob. But look, we already know, like I already said, we already know that Fabio does like Adama Traore. Now it's just about whether or not we would actually get a deal over the line for him.
10 mil.
Hey, maybe he is the reported quote unquote replacement for Brian Heel when he leaves. So
10 mil.
it's an option. We know it's an option. It's just it remains to be seen whether or not he is going to be the option that he goes for. All right, man.
Million.
Nottingham Forest this Sunday. First Premier League match between Nottingham Forest and Tottenham Hotspur since 1998-1999. Here's another fun fact for you, my friend. Nottingham Forest have won 6 of their last 9 Premier League games against Spurs, but they did lose both meetings the last time they met in the 98-99 season. So we have the last 2 wins against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, and then we have won 4 of our last 5 meetings with Nottingham Forest in all other competitions since then as well. They're back in the Premier League this year. We already know. We know their home atmosphere is electric as well. Regardless, man, 3 points or nothing, or 3 points, nothing less, in my opinion, this weekend. We are managed by Antonio Conte. We are in the Champions League. We need to be winning games.
We need to be winning these kind of games.
These kind of games, yes.
Southampton, we won it. People still complained about this. They go, me about that. You know what I mean? People are going to always find the bad cherry and say, oh, these cherries are shit. But you know what? We showed against Southampton that we could get the job done. I think Southampton may or may not this year be on the same echelon of a Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest recently promoted, and then we took one of the main reasons they got promoted. If you remember, Jed Spence, if I'm not mistaken, he was on the best 11 of the championship last season.
Yep.
And then we took him from them. So you know what? I'm not. This is a game like Southampton. I'm looking at Sonny. I'm looking at Kane. This is the time to turn it around. Kane has been being solid. He got the game winner. You could argue it's the game winner because it won the fucking game. And then he also got the point stolen at Stamford Bridge, and it made Tuchel so mad, and he just want to hold Antonio Conte and sniff him a little bit. All right, so this is a game to come good. I know there's been a lot of talk about this, that, who, the other. Sonny, what we gonna do? Oh, let's bring Richarlison. He had the nutmeg. Like, all right, fair enough. I hear all arguments. They're all welcome. They're all appreciated. At the end of the day, my opinion is this. This is the perfect lily pad game for Son to get going, to get a brace, get that confidence going. Silence the haters on both sides. Silence all haters on both sides. I'm talking about our fans who've been saying this, that, and the other. This is the perfect opportunity for him to use it as a pedestal, build that confidence, silence everybody, and then let's see him come off at half. Let's see him have a good first half. Let's see him bag 2 goals and then come off 50, 60 minute. You know what I mean? And just rest them legs, get him ready for West Blam. I think that there's been a lot of this, that, and the other about my beloved Heung Min Daddy. And it's hard to watch sometimes. I'm looking at you, Leo COYS. I was watching Leo's and Parker Mile High Hotspur. I was watching their pod, and they had Bobby K on. Which shout out Bobby K. I don't think he's watching, but shout you out anyway. This is all just noise, baby. It just sounds like Charlie Brown to me. It's just got to be, and Son has to take it like that.
And to be fair, what have we've seen, and it's been proven in the past that when Son has these certain patches or these certain runs of form where he's not particularly at his best, and then he has that one performance that just turns it all around. And you've already mentioned it, Jacob. This is the perfect opportunity, and this is the perfect type of game. This is a similar type of game that we've seen before where he does use it as a lily pad. He does use this as a bounce pad, and he uses this game to elevate these next few matches that he's going to get into. He has a good game against Nottingham Forest. You best believe he's going to have a good game against West Ham because, first off, West Ham is already a team that he plays well against just in general, week in and week out, pretty much every single season. And then 2, like we had already said, these are the type of games against Nottingham Forest where he uses
Casey.
it. Oh.
Casey. I see you, Casey. Big shout out Goguma. Goguma's in the house catching us live. Hell yeah, that's exciting. What's up? How you doing? The Empress of YouTube herself. Goguma says, "Hi, Jacob and
How's
Mike.
it going? How's it going, Goguma?
Big ups to you."
But
What's
look,
it?
bottom line, this is a game that Son uses to his advantage. This is the type of game where he truly does take over in certain sequences. I'm looking for him to have a big performance too, man. I'm gonna agree with you. I think he's gonna have a bounce back performance this weekend, and I hope so. I truly do.
This is a statement here that I think Alexander Hilton, aka Steak, shouts you out. Says when Son was playing quote bad last season, he was scoring at least, but this time he isn't scoring, so we should start Richard. Listen, no, just plain and simple. No, that's even when he wasn't playing. Even he was playing bad last season, he wasn't scoring. I thought people were just like ready to burn him at the stake. You know what I'm saying? This is a game that he needs to get his confidence right. I don't think it's a game that you sit your best, arguably best, and or second best player on your squad. You don't do that. That's just you want to struggle in the match. I'm sorry, Richarlison hasn't shown me enough to warrant even starting for Kulusevski. Kulusevski hasn't shown me much either, but everyone wants to bench Son. Kane's shown us moments in games twice. 2 out of 3 times he's shown us moments of brilliance. Okay.
We haven't seen a player though, like, or at least an attacker, truly take over a game. And
Exactly.
Maybe you could argue Kulusevski against Southampton. He did in the majority of that second half. But I agree, the attackers haven't been at their best yet. But again, it's the beginning of the season. They're still getting going. They're still rediscovering that form that they had to end last Premier League campaign. So I'm with you, Jacob, fully 100%. I think it's only a matter of time before Son gets going. I think we need to be patient. And for everyone who has been saying Richarlison needs to start, we had already said it earlier on in the pod, but there's going to be plenty of game time to go around once the Champions League starts in a few weeks. There's going to be cup matches to pop up and sprinkle in amongst the Premier League schedule as well here and there. There's going to be plenty of time, y'all. So just be patient. Conte knows what he's doing, and he even backed him today in his press conference. He said Sonny, he's not worried about Sonny's form right now because he says that he's still working hard on and off the ball. He's still showing promise, and he's still showing a lot of heart. And he says it's only a matter of time before players like Sonny really do, go out and take over games. And we've already said it, man. Nottingham Forest is the perfect opportunity to do so. I'm backing him to do so. I know so are you. But for me, I'm not worried. And I know you're not either.
No, I'm not concerned. Sonny's world class. Don't at me. Actually, at me. I don't give a shit. He's world class. Mark Swift asks, "How's your dog? We need the weekly appearance." You starved?
She took a shit, so I had to clean it up. That's why I paused my cam. But she's good now. She's laying
You
right
gotta
under
love
me.
that. Casey, official sponsor of the pod.
Official mascot of the pod.
She leaves gifts and presents for the pod as well. So, Tom Markinen, big up, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Says, I like a hungry R9 on that bench with a licky emoji. I agree, buddy. I want to see him do more in his limited time. That's why I want to see a fast start. I'm talking about 3 goals when we go in at halftime, 2 of them being Sonny, and then let Sonny run out another 10, 15 minutes and then come back. And then you know what? Richarlison, we're going to give you over half an hour to do something, and you better bag one. Because if you bag one, then I'll listen to more of this. We need to let him start. We need to do this. But this is I think everyone sees this. I'm going to hope Sonny and Conte see it this way, that this is a game to get right. This is a game to turn your form good. Everybody, doesn't matter what sport you play, they go through moments where they're not at their best. There's been talk that he's old. There's been talk that he's lost it. There's been talk that he ain't confident on the ball. I think he's got a Puskas award that would argue with you on he's not confident on the ball. Okay, when Sonny's at his best, when we're supporting him, when we're sending him our love, whether it be from America, the UK. If you're in the UK especially, you should be sending your love because it's even easier to send your energy that way. So just love on the man. He's going to come good, and he's going to start bagging these goals.
He will. He will come good. I'm not worried at all. Cuti Romero reportedly out this week once again due to injury. We know that he was out last week as well after suffering a hamstring strain / injury against Chelsea. Oliver Skip is out as well, but they said or at least, excuse me, Conte said in his presser that they should be back in training sometime next week. So fingers crossed that their recovery continues to go well, specifically with Skippy, just because he's been out for so long, and we just need to see him back on that pitch, man, in a Premier League game or in a Champions League facet. So hopefully they will continue their speedy recoveries, respectively. And we've already mentioned it, man, but we have our first midweek match of the season this week as well. We will preview that shortly after we recap Nottingham Forest, so I don't want to get into that too much just because we know that game is big enough in its own. That deserves its own episode in its own facet. But just wanted to get your overall thoughts, man, on the busy week ahead. And before we get into score predictions and starting 11 predictions as well.
Before we do that, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Okay. Hold on. I got to end this poll. Give me a little timer. I'm going to ask you a question, Michael. But I want you to be as honest about this as you can. Has Sonny done enough
to start?
To not warrant this debate about his standing with our team?
He had an assist against Southampton. He
had the hockey assist for Wolves.
Yeah, he had the hockey assist,
which was a drawn-up play.
And I think he's doing some good things off the ball as well. He's creating space. He's drawing defenders away. I know that he did. I'm just going to be honest. He did get locked up by Reece James against Chelsea, but
he was out there.
He drew that attention. But
man.
Look how much attention he did draw on that side, and that's just the kind of presence and the kind of effect that Sonny has on the games. I'll be honest. I'm going to say no, because I know that he will get better as the season goes along, and he's been poor by his standards, but he's still found ways in almost every single game to impact the way the match played out. If you truly do think about it, he made an impact against Southampton. He made an impact against Wolves as well.
I'd argue
he didn't make as much of an impact against Chelsea, but like I already said, he drew that attention and he spread that Chelsea formation out just a little bit wider. We didn't really take advantage of it, but that was some of the things that he did do against Chelsea as well. I understand that we brought in guys like Richarlison for this very reason, but you also have to rely on that world-class ability that Son does have in his back pocket that he can pull out at any moment, at any given time.
Any moment. He's got it on both feet.
We've already seen it specifically against West Ham before in the past, where he just pulls one out outside of the box and he just bangs one in.
Mm-hmm.
He preys on teams like of the caliber of teams like Nottingham Forest. So that's why I'm so confident and I'm backing him to have that bounce back performance this weekend. What about you?
I think I've been arguing and fighting people. There's countless group chats. Countless chats going back and forth. People in the chat of live streams. I've seen it everywhere. So it's just hard to not talk about. I see it, and I've been saying all along, Sonny's going to come good. He's going to come good. And you need to have faith in the person. Like Jamie said, Sonny's carried us for years now. Fans want to shit on him. Like, come on. Come on, dude. It just seems like a dystopian reality where people are shitting on like the best player for us, in my opinion, last season, our MVP, our Golden Boot winner, and they just want to. It's just easier to do it. It's just easier to say, "Oh, it's that guy." That's why it's been. What's up, Tricky One says, "Greetings, United Spurs of A. Let's not waste too much time debating about Sunny people. We are moving on. It's not even an issue for me. Big up, Tricky One." AKA Sam Lee.
Don't worry, we're moving on.
But
we did have to point it out. It was something that I think I had actually pointed it out before you had, where I was like, dude, we need to talk about Sonny. We need to get this across just because there's been so much talk about it. But I mean, you know how passionate I feel about it, and I know how passionate you feel about it. So I know it's not necessarily anything that we need to debate about, but I think in general, just because of the general concerns that have come out within the Spurs fan base, it just needs to be addressed first and foremost. All right, my friend, Nottingham Forest this weekend. We are looking to avoid defeat in our opening 4 league matches for just the second time in the last 13 seasons. So we did that. The last time we did that was in 2016-17 under Mauricio Pochettino, and we were unbeaten in the first 12 games of that season, and we went on, obviously, to finish that season in second place. But look, man, hit the like, hit the subscribe.
sub.
Thank you, Mark, for reminding me. Hit the sub as well.
We're coming up on an hour here, so it's a good time to plug that, Marky Swifty, our good friend of the pod here. Also a good time to say, if you want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty and liking and subscribing, you can also, I've pinned to the chat, the live chat, a link, patreon.com/United Spurs of America. If you go there, you can become an official sponsor of the show. We've got different tiers, different memberships. We got the 10-inch club. We got 3 members in the 10-inch club right now. We got Ellie from Tottenham Till I Die, Faraz, and Leo COYS 1882. We also got the official sponsors list, which unfortunately is the not the official sponsor. The Anchor Club is going to be dissipating. So fortunately, that's dissipating. But our official sponsors club is not. And that's James Joris. We got to get you on over to Patreon, buddy. Same with you, J.Co., Mile High Hotspur. Scott M. It was our first official Patreon member over there. So big up to Scott M. as well. Anchor Club dissipating soon. C Cube, Jaw Dank, Alex Wood. Big ups to y'all. Big ups to everyone who's in the chat. Even if you don't, want to go and do the financial route, you can always go and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Share this video with your friends, your family, your mother. I know they want to watch this. This is the content for them if they want to, branch out a little bit. So please share it. Do as Mark Swift says. Hit that like and sub. Do it for the lads. Michael, can I ask you a question? I heard you earlier allude to goal scorers and our game prediction. But did you say predicted 11 or did I miss that? I want your
predicted 11.
I want your predicted 11 first.
All right, so this one's it's going to be tough because we do have our first 1-inch club. Where you at? We can make that for you, man. We can make that the official sponsors club, but we felt that maybe was a little bit degrading. But hey, look, if you wanted a 1-inch club, maybe we can make one just for you. So look, it's tricky because we do have our first midweek match of the season, and it is a big one. It's against West Ham, so it's a little bit tricky. I will say this though. I'm going to say we will see the same back three as we saw against Wolves: Sanchez, Dyer, and Davies. However, I kind of have a feeling that Doughboy might get his first start of the season on Sunday.
You're not the first person to say that.
The only reason I say that is because I feel like maybe Conte is a little bit more, still just a little bit more comfortable with Emerson starting in the more generally, I guess, bigger games, if you will. And I think...
sorry.
There you go. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Force of habit, right?
Force of habit, exactly.
I'm going to say Doughboy starts at right wing back. I'll make that official. I will say we're going to keep the same midfield of Højbjerg and Bentancur because... I'll go ahead and give a little sneak peek to the preview. I think Basuma starts against West Ham, but we'll talk about that later on down the line. And I do think Perisic starts once again, and I think maybe Sessegnon gets another chance at a start against West Ham. I don't really know how much Conte is going to actually rotate. As my dog takes a shit in the background.
Did she?
That is the one thing. That is the one thing that's going to get me off track.
I was watching her back there, Mike.
But yeah, no. So I'll go. That's the one thing that'll get me off track.
That's twice.
Perisic still starting at left wing back, and I think the front three, same as last week, will start. And then I think for West Ham, man, I think Kulusevski and Richarlison might get rotated, and or Sonny as well. But for me, it's just the West Ham game. I don't want to think too much about it, but I just can't get it out of the back of my head. Like, you just have to think about it when you think about this upcoming week. And it's a big one. I think maybe it would be different if it was the other way around. Like, if this was West Ham and then Nottingham Forest was Wednesday, then I'd be like, same starting 11 as last week with maybe Basuma and for Bentancur, possibly, but I think there's going to be some rotation for Nottingham Forest. What about you? Starting 11.
I 100% agree. There's going to be some bit of rotation, I think. And I'm not going to get thrown off because I don't have a set of eyes to look into. I'm going to look at the beautiful logo of United Spurs of America. I think the rotation is going to be, we'll see Emerson at right wing back. I don't think Doherty will play, so we're going to differ there. The back three is going to be Sanchez, Dyer, Davies. I feel like that's inevitable. Who knows? Maybe Longley, but I think it'll be. I think this is my just prediction of what Conte will do. I don't think Clementine will get the start. I think it'll be Davies, Dyer, and Sanchez back there on the left wing. I could see Sessegnon starting versus Forest, and Perisic getting the start versus West Ham midweek. I could see that happening on the left there. So I'm looking probably at Sessegnon starting at the left wing back. And my midfield pairing, I'm going to actually switch it. I'm going to say I see Basuma starting against Forest. And I see us going back to our typical 11 versus West Ham. So that's just another little preview. I don't want to say too much about the West Splammer game, but
we will be recording a preview before the West Ham match.
Yeah, like a recap of this game
and preview. We just have to, just because it is a London derby. And Harry Kane, I believe, what is it? Only 3 more goals, right? To have the most goals in North London derbies of all time in the Premier League. I believe that's the stat. I think he needs 3 more, but
he already broke records with that Wolves header.
Yep.
We know
regardless, it's going to be a big week this upcoming week, so please stay tuned. That'll come out either a Sunday night, Monday, but we'll try to record that either on Sunday or Monday. But Jacob, score predictions now, my friend. We've gone over the starting 11. How are we feeling? What do we think?
Oh,
or did you said your front 3, right?
Well, my front 3 is going to be Son, Kane, Kulusevski.
Yeah. Okay.
But my midfield is going to be Bissouma and Højbjerg, actually.
Sorry. I forgot that you. I didn't mean to get ahead of myself there.
That's okay. I was almost done. You knew that I was going to say that, so I don't blame.
So you think Bissouma starts on Sunday?
Yeah, and then
okay.
And then for West Ham, he would go with his typical, like, this is what I rely on. We got Jason Groves in the house. The good friend of the pod, good friend of Hotspur Hoodlums. Jason Grovesy says, big up, gents. I'm honored that you were here, my friend. Thank you for joining. It is puppy o'clock. It is puppy o'clock. We reached an hour. We held her back for an hour. Woof, woof. It's puppy time. She took a dookie earlier. 2 dookies. She
did. 2 dookies.
2 dukes on the live stream.
She took a nap like at the beginning of the stream, and then she woke up and popped a squat. Huh, mama?
Mm-hmm. Puppy o'clock.
She's looking to take a shit on Nottingham Forest and West Ham this week too, huh, mama?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, there it is, Casey.
You know what I wish they made? Like back in the 90s, they used to make like throw blankets for like children's bed, and they'd have all the teams' logos on them of like the NBA or NFL or whatever, MLB, whatever. If they had one like that, I would say, I would like something like that. They should make something like that. Go back to the good old days. I don't think they could get away with that now because of like people's trademark infringement, etc. But
yeah.
So I'll put the banner.
Thank you guys,
too.
By the way, for the support with Casey. I appreciate it.
They love her. They love
Cube
her.
Says she's gotten so big. She has. She actually has. I don't know if you guys remember the very first time I ever showed her on a stream, but she was like literally this tiny. So she's gotten very, very big. Very, very big. Thank you, Gogoma. She says she's so sweet. Mark Swift says bless her. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jacob.
Oh, no worries. Before I get too far into it, Jason Groves, I do have to address this. Earlier I spoke about him.
We went over it, Jason. You missed it, man.
Michael doesn't want me to get back into it, but yes, Jason. Oh, Jason, you know me, Jason. You know the faucets have been opened. The humidity is rising, my friend. I'm going to pull up this banner here. I'm starring all of everyone in the chat. Hit us with your goal predictions, your goal score predictions rather, and your score predictions. We want to see them. I want to know. I see we've got 2 of them in. I've starred them. We'll keep starring them as they come in as we talk about our predictions, and then we'll talk about y'all's after that. But
I had my first starting 11. You give us your first score prediction.
Deal. I'll accept that deal. My score prediction for this game is going to be exactly like Southampton, 4-1.
Okay.
For some reason,
we go down first too. Is that what you mean by exact same?
I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say we go up 1, kind of sit back a little, and then they equalize, and we're like, oh shit, let's turn this thing on. And I really think it could be like a 3-1 at halftime. Or a 2-1 at halftime with Son bagging a brace. I feel a Son brace, bro. I may be crazy. I hope I can come back to this and say, look at this. I fucking called it. All you haters, all you doubters, what is up? What is cracking? I mean, come on, baby. For me, Son's going to get a brace. The score is going to be 4-1. Sonny with 2 of them. I see Kane getting 1. And if I am correct in my assumption that Son's going to get bag a brace early, get subbed off 50, 60 minute, and come Richarley, I see Richarley bagging 1 with, if he gets 30 minutes versus Forest, I see Richarlison scoring, getting his first goal as a Tottenham Hotspur player, doing the little, what is it called? Hit me with it. What is it? What's it called? Yeah. Bro's been getting tatted up too. He wants to score and show off his tats. Yeah, I see that. But if not, if I'm wrong, I could see a mystery goal scorer like a Basuma or a Højbjerg as well, or maybe even one of the wingbacks. Who knows? Sessegnon might try and be hungry as well, and know that this is a team that he could go out and do something against. So that's mine. That's Michael's.
I'm gonna say 3-1. I'm gonna say Kane with 2 and Son with 1. I'm just like real clean cut, generic 3-1. Kane 2.
Do we
Son
go down
1.
first?
No, I think we either stay ahead or at least equalize the entirety of the match.
Okay.
If you look at the games that they've already played, I've watched a little bit. I haven't watched too much of Nottingham Forest this season, but they've let up a lot of shots, and they do generally give away a lot of possession to teams that like to hold possession. And I think if Bentancur plays, which I think he will, just because I think we will dominate possession against Forest. Hopefully we will, at least. If we do that, I think Bentancur will thrive. I think we'll be able to produce some chances in the middle of the pitch along with our wing-back play. And I think if we do start Doughboy, he has a real potential to take over this game on that right-hand side. We had seen how well he had played against Leeds last year. We had seen how well he had played against other teams down the stretch before he had gotten injured. Mm-hmm. I think we can see that type of player start to come back in a Conte-like system. I think if Perisic plays, this is a game for him to take over as well. We saw how well he was playing against Wolves in certain moments. So I'm excited, man. I'm going to say 3-1. I do think we do give up 1 just because of the back line, how kind of shaky they've been over the past few weeks. I think we let up 1, but hey, I still think we scored 3. And I think we will dominate possession, like I said. So I'm going 3-1. 3-1.
We're feeling pretty good. We're all feeling pretty good.
Chat. So's the chat.
Let's rattle them off. We got Alan Sibley with 3-1. Alan, we need your goal scorers as well. Who's scoring these goals? But I like it because I'm assuming that is us winning with 3-1. Alexander Hilton says 22-0. Basuma with 4 goals, 10 for Emerson, 3 for Lloris, and 5 Kane goals. So he doesn't get Son in this 22 goal fest. Alexander Hilton does not have Kane even getting 1, so that's a little harsh. 3-1 Spurs is what Alan says. Damn bruh says 2-1. Damn bruh, who's your goal scorers? Mile High Hotspur says 4-1. Who's your goal scorers? Jamie says 4-1. Who's your goal scorers?
They forgot the second point of the question.
Yeah. Maybe we should break it into 2. There's Alex's 3 first half, 1 second. Jamie's got, so we're gonna be up 3 and hit 1 in a second. All right, cool. Jason Groves says, I think we're due to put the hurt on someone. I think it's gonna be 4-0. 4-0. I love it. I would love to see a clean sheet.
Keeping a clean sheet. I'm just not confident right now. I don't know why.
Sanchez, though, the past 7.5 hours that Sanchez has played,
it is true.
We've kept a clean sheet.
It is true.
So it's not out of the realm of possibilities, my friend. It could happen.
Maybe just because it's a little bit more uncertain. It's a little bit more of a doubt of like how this game's going to play out, just because of the unfamiliarity we have with them. Maybe that's what scares me. I don't know. Thank you, Cube. She gives me a B+ for this stream. I appreciate it. I know I wasn't up to my standard. I got off topic like 2 times, so I apologize.
I'd give you an A- because even when Groves popped in, we'd already talked about it. I had already excreted the information I needed to.
That's true.
And Jason Groves was trying to pull me back in. Fair play, Jason Groves. He was trying to pull me back into the Adama talk, and I almost got, but you kept me out of it. So I give you A-.
Thank you.
As far as keeping the Adama. Mark Swift, 3-1 Sun hat trick. Let's go, Swifty. I like that. That's even better than my prediction. James Joris saying happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Mile High Hotspur. Here we go. Kane, Richarlison, Kane, and Sonny off the bench to score.
Wow. Wow.
Big shout out Mile High Hotspur, official sponsor of the channel, and big shout out Leo COYS.
Gogama says 4-1. Sonny 2, Kane 2. I'll take that as well. Anytime Son and Kane score, it's always good for me. Always good for me.
I love it. Yeah. Hey, and I can see them both getting 2 assists to each other. And then we're going to be talking about our dynamic duos back, hot and heavy. We're all wet and sweaty. You know what I mean? This Mom Spaghetti, Cockeyed TV Golden Cockerel. That's a great name and a great profile picture, buddy. He's got a hat trick of legs and a hat trick of goals tomorrow for Heung Min Daddy. His 3 legs is a birth defect. I mean, elephantitis is a real thing, my friend. And our man is Sun Min Heung.
Late entry here. Wikipedia says 5-1. Kane, Sonny, Kulu, and Lil Richie. So someone's getting a brace in there. Someone's getting a brace. Sonny. I know the stream's winding down, and I know we're probably going to end soon. But before we do so, Jacob, and I know you probably want to get into this. I know I do as well. I want to give a shout out to Destiny Udogi, who, per Jacob, was hands down the best player today for Udinese in their Serie A match today. I believe they did end up winning, right? 2-1. He scored the winner.
I didn't watch the last 20 minutes, though.
I assume they won 2-1. I'm just going to...
They were 2-1 when Udogi signed off and I signed off.
Please do not let me down. They did. Full time, 2-1. Destiny Udogi with the match winner in the 77th minute. So as we get some more score predictions down in the comments below, shout out James Joris, shout out Jamie. I want to shout out Destiny Udogi because he did score today. Our future Lily White lad is looking very, very promising already to kick off the 2022-2023 season in City A.
I mean, this guy, he looked fantastic today. I'm going to be the first to admit I've never watched him before today. But
he looked good?
I get updates on my phone if he's going to start because these guys that we bring in and we loan out, I'm keeping my eyes on them. I'm watching them.
You can only
Troy
perform
Parrott,
well.
Dane Scarlett, I'm watching.
You can only see good for performances in the ones that you watch. So for me, you're as good of a scout as any out there. You've watched one game, you've determined how good he is already. I trust you. Like I said, you can only watch the games that you watch. So
exactly, and I can only speak on the things that I can speak on.
Exactly.
Here we go. I just got an email, my friend. You're gonna like this.
That's a good thing because emails during the streams
The
generally
one and only Alan Sibley has just become a Patreon member.
Hell yeah! Thank you, Alan. We
Big
appreciate
up,
you.
Alan.
Thank you for the support. What
thank
tier?
you.
What tier?
Let me sign. I just got the email. I got to sign in on my computer. Let me see here.
Okay.
Let's check it out. Alan Sibley, big ups to yourself.
While Jacob goes into that and deep dives that, C-Cube says, I give myself a D- grade for this stream. I only distracted Mike with a chuckle once. Very disappointing. I will admit, you weren't on top of your game today, Cubed. You need to do a better job with distracting Jacob and myself. Jamie says, Yedo, yes, sir. Jason Groves, Kane, Son, Kane, and Kulu for me. So Kane with a brace, and then Sonny and Kulu scoring against Nottingham Forest this weekend. We love to see it, Jason.
Alan Sibley, the first official member of the Soggy Undies Club.
Wow!
Let's go.
We need to update the bug for
working
next
on
game.
it. I'm working on it. You talk to me. I'm working on it, baby.
Thank you, Mr. Alan Sibley, who is the first member, right, Jacob, of the Soggy Undies Club?
First member of our Soggy Undies Club. Now, this is a membership up. So, Alan Sibley.
As you already know, the 10-inch club is named after the great Alan Sibley.
This is true.
One of our first big supporters when we first started streaming. And
now he's officially our biggest
he has his own
supporter.
tier, and now he's our biggest supporter in Patreon.
Big ups to yourself, Alan. Man, big ups. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope we go out and shag these boys dirty for you. I also hope we bring in
season this weekend.
I hope we bring in Adama Traore, and I hope he convinces you all the things he's convinced me of, and then we could talk about it. Maybe we could even get your debut on stream. You could talk to me about the greatness that is Adama Traore if we bring him in. But big ups to you, Alan. Constant supporter of the pod. First official member of the Soggy Undies. Soggy Undie Club.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you so much, Alan. And thank you so much for everyone else who's a Patreon member. And if you'd like to become one, then we will point you towards the bottom of the screen right here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And then also, Jacob's updating it right now, but patreon.com/United Spurs of America. I'm going to go ahead and get your final thoughts, Jacob. After you finish doing that, I will kick it off myself. First off, to end this stream, we want to thank everyone so much for their support. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal in the comments today. Jacob just updated it down below on the ticker, patreon.com/United Spurs of America, and he has updated our official sponsors, and our new official Soggy Undies Club has been founded by Alan 10-inch himself, Sibley. So thank you so much for your support.
Big
Jacob,
ups.
I'm going to ask you your one final thought. I'm going to lead it off, though. And my final thought for today's stream today is Sonny is coming back this weekend. He is going to score at least one goal, and he is going to assist at least one goal for Kane. Thank you, Alan. We appreciate it.
I'll save it, Alan. I'll save it, buddy.
But regardless, man, I want to say that Sonny's coming back this weekend. He's coming to silence the doubters. He's coming to silence the haters. It's going to be his game against Nottingham Forest. I'm backing him to have a huge game on Sunday. What about you, my friend? One final thought to end the stream.
My one final thought? I have a lot of final thoughts. My final thoughts can go and go and go. And this is a beautiful moment in the podcast to just say my final thought is I'm so touched. I'm so blessed in my life right now. I'm so touched by our friendship, Michael, by your constant support. I always got you to lean on, whether it be football related or non-football related. So big ups to you. Before I finish my final thought, I'm about to get emotional.
The world, my friend.
It's always me and you versus the world, my friend. But I got so much love for you. Before I start fucking crying on live stream about you, Goguma is now an official supporter of the pod as well. Hold on. I believe, let me refresh this. I believe Goguma, the one and only, is in the 10-inch club.
All right.
Let's go, Goguma. Let's go.
4 people in the 10-inch club on our very own Patreon list. Thank you guys so much. That's amazing. So much.
Big
Thank
ups.
you so much, Goguma. She's been a long time supporter of the podcast, the streams, everything. So she has very, very much well-deserved her cemented place amongst the 10-inch club founding members. So thank you so much, Goguma. Thank you so much to the rest of our sponsors as well. And we will remind you one last time before I'll let Jacob wrap up his one final thought. Patreon.com/United Spurs of America if you do want to become an official supporter of the pod and the live streams. But regardless, thank you guys so much for all your support. We really do appreciate it. But yeah, man, no, it's always good to to be able to lean on you as well. And we always say it week in, week out, but me and you versus the world, my friend, and it truly is that way.
Truly is. But you know what? We got people also supporting us, pushing us, constantly pushing me to strive to do better. You included, Michael. Everyone who's been scrolling their names on the bottom, you're constantly in my thoughts, and you're near and dear to my heart. You're a supporter of this channel. You've helped us. You uplift us. This channel only grows and goes how we go. So me and Michael, I know that we enjoy bringing this stuff to you. We love talking about Tottenham with y'all. So my final thought was really just I'm so blessed and fortunate. Outside of YouTube, I'm blessed with my son and my wife. I feel blessed. I'm blessed with the best club in the world. We're blessed with the blessed supporters of the stream. We're blessed with the best people. You know what I mean? All we got is love for everybody. All we got is love for everyone who tunes in, whether you're live, whether you're on replay. And just nothing but love today. I feel the love. So thank you, Alan. Thank you, Gogoma, our newest members. our founding member of the Soggy Undie Club, Alan Sibley. Thank you so much, buddy. You've really touched me deep, as well as you tonight, Goguma. Big ups to yourself for becoming the 4th official member of the 10-inch club. And then also just big ups to everyone else within that list that is official sponsors of this. I really, Wikipedia, I can only be on your thoughts only once a day, Jacob. No, not just once, buddy. All the time. Got a lot of love for you. I know you're out there in Florida still. Hope you're doing well. James Joris, same thing I'm saying to everybody. Big up all. Have a great weekend. I love you all. Eat some steak this weekend. Think about the meaty steak on the Domatore. And
Cut down a tree or two. Cut down a tree or two this weekend, you know? Deforestation is not overrated by any means this weekend. And I mean that in the nicest way possible to our Mother Earth. But as how I see it this weekend, fuck trees. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, we cutting them down on Sunday, but on Monday we'll build them back up, all right? But on Sunday they got to get chop, chop, chop.
They're going down.
Yeah, they're going down. Jamie, come on, you Spurs. Big up to everyone in the chat. Love you all so much. Michael, again, I just appreciate you. That's my final thought. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone else who's on this ride with us. Because,
Me as well, my friend.
Yeah, we on the boat, baby, whether it's rocking or not. Come on.
Get on the train or get the fuck out of the way, like we always like to say. Thank you so much for listening to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast, hosted very much live and very much in real time on our very own YouTube channel. Thank you so much to all our patrons. Thank you so much to everyone in the comments today. And thank you so much to everyone who is listening to this after the fact on Spotify or on YouTube as well, or wherever you may listen to your podcast and fulfill your podcasting needs, if that be. But thank you so much for listening to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. With your host, as always, I'm Michael. He's Jacob. If you're going to the match on Sunday at Nottingham Forest, be loud, be proud. We're going to watch you on the telly from across the pond. As always, up the lads. And Jacob?
Come on, you beautiful Spurs.
Quiz.